Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright. Welcome back. This video has two purposes. One is it's an energy healing recap video because I'm telling you exactly what I did in the Friday healing, April 13th, 2018. And the other very important purpose of this video is just a really good technique walkthrough video that you can do whenever you want. And I will start with just a quick centering in case you are not super centered when you start this video. But the point of this video will be to clear resistance that you may have, well, that you certainly do have, to move out of some of the resistance that you have in two major meridians in your body. So meridians are, that's the term that is used in traditional Chinese medicine, well, the English language term that's used in traditional Chinese medicine for pathways, natural pathways that energy flows in the body. This is, I always use this doll, this is AccuDoll I call her, but these are all little acupuncture points in the body. And these points are along meridians, you know, that flow and all sorts of cool little pathways in the body. And there are a total, I believe, 14 meridians, if you count the two that we're going to work in this video. But again, disclaimer, I am not a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. It's super cool stuff, and I actually considered doing the training of it, but instead of doing what I do for a living, years and years ago when I was contemplating which way to go. So I have a lot of respect for acupuncturists who are certified and trained in acupuncture and Chinese herbs. And I go to an acupuncturist to receive treatment and get herbal prescriptions. So lots of respect. But anyway, this is a foolproof thing to do where you can do this walkthrough without knowing like all the little points and all your meridians. And the angel showed it to me for this healing. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be imagining two meridians in traditional Chinese medicine, and I'll show you little graphics on the screen of each one. And we're just going to imagine the resistance that you have. Imagine the blocked energy that you have in this meridian. And then the energy blocks are held in place by resistance. And the resistance is actually your energy. It could be very subconscious, but it's you. So there's a part of you that is the glue holding these energy blocks in place. And so it's very powerful, but also very gentle to get out of resistance, move out of resistance. And so what we're doing in this walkthrough video is we're moving out of resistance in two specific energy pathways in your body. Okay, and so the first one, and I'll put a graphic of it on the screen. We're just doing the exterior portion of, and that's just what the angels told me to do. They were very specific. They're like, nope, that's too complicated. Keep it simple. So yay, this is a very simple thing. So there's this one meridian, and the external part of it is right here. So it goes from actually in there to all the way up here. So basically up the midline of the front of your body to like right here. So that's the external part of a meridian, an energy pathway in your body. And it's called the conception vessel. And maybe you can remember, conception, like having a baby, and it goes, from the genital area down here all the way up to here. And it's not just about having a baby, but maybe like as a memory aid, you could remember it that way. So that's the external part of the conception vessel, and that's the only part that I focused on and healed in the healing with people, but that's fine because there are internal pathways that are also part of that meridian. But if you clear your resistance, there's a great ripple effect, and so you're actually, it's like a chain reaction, and so it helps clear resistance in the rest of the meridian. And since all these meridians are interrelated, all the 14 meridians, then you're helping to clear resistance in all the other meridians. Okay, so anyway, the external part of the conception meridian, and then the external part of the governing vessel meridian. So this is conception vessel meridian, and this is governing vessel meridian. So sometimes in diagrams, you'll see GV for governing vessel. And again, it goes up the midline in the back, the external part of it, and then it goes around the front and ends right there. I am not a practitioner, so this is probably like a dumbed down version of it. I'm sure it is. But that's okay, because that's what you need to do this healing. So that's fine. It's a really good kind of, you know, ignorant proof thing to do. It feels really good. So I will put a graphic on the screen for this part right here. Again, and it's the external part of the governing vessel. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a real quick, you know, grounding centering with a tricolor earth energy soak. And if you like this process, maybe we'll just do 1 or 2 colors of it. But there is a full 6-minute video doing all 3 colors, red, orange, and yellow, of tricolor earth energy soak. But we'll see, so be aware of your grounding first. Grounding is, I like it wide. I recommend that it's as wide as your whole aura, okay? And that it goes as high as your 3rd chakra, right around here below your sternum. And so it goes up this high and it goes all the way down to the core of the earth, okay? So it's just this big, giant energy pathway that flows downward that you're creating with your mind. You don't have to see it, you imagine it or create it with your thought. So go ahead and think of how big and wide your aura is and make your grounding that wide, and go ahead and make it red and as wide as your whole aura, and connect it to the core of the earth. Keep it wide all the way down there. And just a few deep breaths. And think about how you can let go. I can let go. Maybe it's time to let go, because sometimes you can talk to that part of you that's like, no, no, no. You know, we all, I promise, have a subconscious part, several probably, that are just clutching because of trauma or stress or fear. That is subconscious. So just, you know, the more you comfort those parts of you and say, okay, I can let go. It's time to let go. I'm safe. I can let go. What that's going to do is help you to, you know, do a very healthy thing, which is to let go of blocked energy, and it just travels all the way down your grounding and it gets absorbed by the core of the earth, and then it just goes back to wherever it belongs. Okay, so that's just grounding, okay, and that's a red grounding that you just made, red grounding cord, you could say, but it's a giant one. It's not like a skinny rope, right? And then just earth energy soak is where you bring up earth energy from the core of the earth at that color. So bring up red earth energy all the way up, and just soak in it. Okay, and if you really don't want to do red, do orange or yellow. Okay, change your grounding to orange or change your grounding to yellow. Okay, but I am going to do red. But just bring up red or orange or yellow earth energy and just bring it all the way up and just soak. You know, so it's like you make your grounding like a straw, and it just naturally brings up the earth energy at that color that you want, the red or orange or yellow, and just you're letting it go all the way up to the top of your aura, and you're just soaking in all that red earth energy. And you don't really have to bring your arms up, you know, like if you're cooking at the same time, just with your mind, you can imagine it going up, and that's good enough. It still works. Okay, so that's an earth energy soak. And I think that's enough for now. If you want to do more centering at any time, now or at any time, my quick flow playlist is really good for that. There's a video just like what we just did, but more of it, and then there's even more centering videos in that one quick flow playlist. Okay. In the healing, I started with the conception vessel, but I think conception vessel meridian, the front one, but I think the angels think it's probably easier for people to start with the back one, the governing vessel meridian. And this is, again, the external part of the governing vessel meridian. So just imagine maybe a profile of you and how it goes like that, and it goes around. And just, you want to just kind of be aware of it. And what I do is, like, I imagine it like a line, and then I imagine the energy blocks in it, just like it's like a hardened sort of aspect to it. So like black, hard energy all around it. And you don't want to add any, of course. You don't want to create blocked energy, but there probably is already blocked energy in that meridian. And then you want to imagine that hard energy that's there. You know, don't like idealize it and be like, oh, it looks perfect already. You know, yeah, right. So just imagine, you know, like really accentuate your view of the blocked energy in that governing vessel meridian that just like goes up the back and then loops around down to your chin. And so then you're imagining that blocked energy, and like I like to imagine it like, you know, like hard, like black energy. And then imagine the resistance, the part of you that is like the glue holding all that blocked energy in place. Imagine you, the glue, right? The part of you that's the glue, and just comfort that part of you. You know, and you can sometimes, you know, I like really thinking about, well, what is that part of me doing? You know, and I think sometimes right now that part of me is like, you know, some little part of me is mad at somebody, you know, from the past. And I'm just, that little subconscious part of me is like, they shouldn't have done that. And they always do that. And it's so unfair. You know, like there's just a part of you that's like having a little inner rage, you know, and, you know, that's just an example of what part of you might be resistant in this governing vessel. But you don't have to get too into it, you know, just say, okay, there's a part of me that's the glue, and I'm going to comfort that part of me and ease that part of me out into being more the flow. Be the flow, don't be the glue, okay? So just, you can imagine talking to that part of you. It's okay, I'm safe. It all worked out. It's all right. I know things aren't fair. I'm sorry, but it's okay now. It's okay. We can let go. It'll help us to let go. Sometimes I tell that part of me to take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. It's okay. And then you'll just feel or intuit that, oh, okay, that part of me finally chilled out. That part of me isn't like anymore. Sometimes if you can talk that part of you into taking a deep breath, like that's it. Then that part of you's like, all right. Yeah, I gotta let go. So anyway, once that part of you lets go, then like a lot of the energy blocks, not all, but whatever's healthy and gentle for you to clear at that time will clear from that meridian. And even from the part of the meridian that you're not imagining, the interior parts of it, it'll just have a nice ripple effect. So let's do that one more time. Again, imagine the governing vessel meridian. It goes up the back of your back, and then it goes forward like this. So that's the external part of the governing vessel, and just imagine it maybe in profile. And just, I like to feel it. You know, I imagine a copy of it out in front of me, and I feel it. And I just feel the hard energy blocks there that are already there. And then I feel the glue, the part of me that's like, argh! And I just comfort that part of me. So you do it for you, comfort that part of you. You know, maybe take a deep breath. Just tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna move out of resistance. I don't need to be the glue anymore. I can be the flow. Be the flow, not the glue. Be the flow, not the glue. And it just happens. It's just, and if you're a newbie and you're doubting yourself, just trust that it did happen. Just trust that your intention of making it happen and you spent those little 20, 30 seconds did work and did help, okay? And what happens is the hard energy just, because the glue goes away, which is your resistance, it changes into flow, then the blocked energy also just dissolves. That's really nice. So that also can help your Wei Qi. We mentioned that in the last set. Apparently this governing vessel is related to Wei Qi. So Wei Qi helps your inner defenses against external invasive negative energy. So it helps your natural self-defense energy, which is good. So anyway, now let's move out of resistance in the conception vessel. And again, all you need to, conception vessel meridian, you just need to imagine the exterior part of it in order to help the whole meridian. So it starts like right at the base, like actually behind the genitals. And then it goes all the way up the midline right here in the front. And that's, again, the external part of the conception vessel meridian. So just imagine a line, and you can imagine a copy out in front of you. And again, it starts behind the genitals and it goes all the way up to right here above the chin, and just, feel it. And what I did was I didn't really, energy flows up this part, but I didn't add any energy to it. So I didn't think of okay, gold light and I'm giving it energy, because I didn't want to, because these meridians are pretty delicate, and not knowing all I could possibly know about all of them, I didn't want to, even if I'm working on myself at this point in my knowledge, I don't want to add energy. I just want to think of the blocked energy that's already there. So the hard blocked energy that's already there. And it could be a white hard energy. It could be a black hard energy. It could be a different color. But you imagine the hard blocked energy that's in that part of that meridian. And then you imagine the glue. You kind of take ownership, all right, fine. Those energy blocks wouldn't be there if part of me wasn't resisting. So you just imagine the subconscious part of you that's resisting. And since this, from what I know, this part right here is more yin, so the part of you that's resisting right here might be a more vulnerable part of you. So not that you need to know that actually, but it's just interesting. So when, for me, if I imagine this part of me that's just the glue right there in the front of my conception vessel, there is more, I feel more of a fearful part of me. Part of me that's stuck in worry, a part of me that's stuck in fear. But again, you don't have to over-identify with that part of you. You can even just say, affirmation level. I'm going to move out of the resistance. I'm going to move out of resistance. I'm going to be the flow, not the glue. And you can just deep breathe. Just think, it's okay. I can be the flow. I don't have to be the glue. And again, what that does is it just gets part of the glue that's you to be the flow, and then that clears a whole bunch of the energy blocks in that part of the meridian, but also the rest of the meridian that's more internal that we're not bothering to visualize. Okay, and again, you can do that as much as you want, the governing vessel and the conception vessel, again, as long as you do it in that gentle way, and you keep thinking, I only want to do what is healthy and gentle for me at this time. So you can say, well, is it healthy and gentle for me to do that again? Maybe 2 more times on the conception vessel, maybe 2 more times on the governing vessel. I think we only did 1 time just now on this conception vessel. So let's do that 1 more time. Just imagine the one that goes up the front, and just, imagine the hard energy that's already in there. And then imagine you're glue. You're the glue that is holding that hard energy in there. So just imagine that stuck part of you, that's the glue, and just comfort that part of you. Hey, it's okay. I'm safe now. Everything's okay. I can take a deep breath. I can be the flow. I don't have to be the glue. Just say that to yourself as you take a deep breath. I can be the flow. I don't have to be the glue anymore. I can just flow. I can let go. I am safe now. So as you do that, it helps that whole meridian, and of course it does help the other 12 meridians in your body too, because there's that one, and then 12 others, but they're all interrelated. So then we just did this little process at the end where we balanced this, I'm just going to call it the back meridian with the front meridian. That's a gross simplification, but we balanced the governing vessel with the conception vessel meridian. So we balanced this governing vessel meridian with the conception vessel meridian. And so it's kind of like yang balancing with yin. Okay, the yang part of you, the more assertive, protective part of you, and the yin part of you, the part that receives more and is a little more delicate. Okay, so let's harmonize them both. So you just kind of imagine both, and again, you don't have to know all the points and exactly blah blah blah, but the back one and the front one. How about that, right? And just imagine, is one kind of, maybe one has a lot more energy than the other. And you kind of want them to complement each other. You want them to balance each other out. You don't want one to be too, you don't want any of them to be too tight. You want them both to flow. And you kind of want them to talk to each other and kind of be balanced. So, again, I did it with non-resistance with people. I just help people to relax, and if I felt like one was more tense than the other, then I would work on that one more with people. Because I think if they're both sort of in an equal place, of flow, then that helps strengthen the weaker one, and it helps they kind of click into a much better complementary place with each other. Man, that feels great. It's almost, it's like how I might feel after a really good acupuncture treatment. So again, if I would say this is Move Out of Resistance Part 2, because it is, it sort of builds on the Move Out of Resistance techniques that we used 2 weeks ago in the video Move Out of Resistance, where you actually work on the same kind of idea, but energy blocks above the top of your aura and not being the glue up there. So this is the part 2 where you actually work on these Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, pathways or meridians in your body. But again, not being the glue, being the flow, and balancing yourself that way. So I hope that helped, and let's just think about our grounding for one more minute, because that did set off a pretty big chain reaction. If you feel weird at all, maybe just balance them out a little more. Maybe there's one that has a little bit too much resistance. So go ahead and, if there's one that is a little bit overactive, maybe just calm it down a little bit. It's nice. And again, be aware of your aura, how big it is, and your grounding. And pick a grounding that'll work for you right now, red or orange or yellow color, and make it big and wide. I'm gonna do yellow, and bring it as high as your third chakra, which is where your sternum bone ends, and as wide as your whole aura, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. And then use it like a straw. Use that grounding like a straw, and bring up energy from the core of the earth energy at that color. Up, 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 and just soak in that energy, that yellow earth energy, or red or yellow, orange, whatever you like, and just leave it up there and soak for a little bit. It's nice. And again, if you feel like you want to do more unblocking, more centering, that Quick Flow playlist has a lot of nice options. Again, Quick Flow playlist. All right, cool. You guys are awesome. And in this video, what we did is we did sort of a foolproof you know, low knowledge, friendly version of, you know, energy healing for 2 traditional Chinese medicine meridians, in order to help you have more inner balance, which is awesome. And it's part of the triplet set on having more fun emotions, because first, in order to have fun emotions but stable, fun, light emotional experiences, you need to be safe and you need to be balanced. So that's what this does for you. All right. So if you like the video, you want more people to find it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or feedback or comments, please, please, please do comment under the video, particularly because this is a new technique. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Okay. Bye.